if I'm wrong here, I've heard this from Max. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I mean, the victory can go from 4-1, obviously, but it seems like every game is kind of a gut check kind of game. Even though today the scoreline was comfortable, the game never felt like it was comfortable on the field. Do you feel that way? And is this kind of the mark of your team, getting out these kind of victories?
No, for me, there was just a stretch in the second half where I felt like we were a little bit uncomfortable. That other than that, I think we were pretty comfortable. Probably about maybe 5 to 10 minutes that I felt like they were on us, and we didn't have a great solution. We couldn't hold the ball, and just pressure kept mounting, which is at the moment that we switched into a back five, wanted to close up the gaps where they were running out. And once we did that, I felt like we were extremely comfortable from then to the end. Um, that was the stretch that bothered me most. Again, probably in the first half, there was times I felt like again it was a little bit too easy to get into our half, but I didn't feel like we were really exposed too much in terms of them creating chances. But I felt like we just weren't able to organize early enough and organize the marking the right way to stop them from sort of penetrating and getting into our half. So, but yeah, I think in all games you have those moments where the opposition gets the control of the game for a little bit, and you've got to be resilient in those moments. I thought the guys fought hard in that stretch and really protected the goal, and then we regained control again with just a little adjustment, and that's good. I thought there were some really good attacking moments through the game, better than I've seen us in stretches this year. We probably left 3 or 4 goals on the table, between the penalty kick and a couple balls. If we square them across a little bit cleaner and connect, we probably have a couple tap-ins. So in general, I thought the performance was for sure a step forward, and as long as we're doing that, we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, speaking of moving in the right direction, people get really excited about fast starts that happened here a couple of years ago. But do you see things that tell you that this is sustainable, that you guys are gelling and getting better, that you're not like at the top of your game just yet? Thank you.
Yeah, we're for sure not at the top of our game, and I think we've had improvements. I see players settling in as they get used to being here. I thought Sam was excellent today through stretches, and that's showing that he's starting to settle in and connect with his team. I thought our players are getting a better understanding of what our principles are, especially on the attacking side. I still think we can continue to improve on both sides of the ball, but we're taking steps forward. I saw that during training this week, and I saw it in the game today. I was not surprised that we played pretty well today, especially the way we moved the ball. It's showing up in training. But the one thing this group is very aware of is that winning and getting streaks of winning in this league are very sensitive, and you've got to make sure you reboot and prepare to compete and battle and sacrifice again next week, because it's going to be another challenge. That's what it's like to be in the MLS. And so in order for us to keep going and keep giving ourselves the opportunity to prove each week, we got to be willing to sacrifice on those difficult moments, and the guys have done that in spades to start the season.
Thanks, Kevin. We'll go to Damien next. Damien, go ahead.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Well, Damien, thank you.
I know earlier Thursday, Derek Williams talked about he wanted the defense to start collecting shutouts. But then you get one today. What did you see out of the group collectively that sort of led to the performance today on the back line?
I think this in general, just to talk about the back four, because I think last week and this week they did an outstanding job of protecting their goal. Again, we haven't done as well as we'd like to yet in stopping the opposition from getting into our half of the field the way we will as we continue to progress. And when you don't, then your back line is put under some pressure to make some plays, to have to protect the goal, protect the box, and I think they've done outstanding. A lot of that is them getting used to each other. Derek's relatively new. He didn't have much of a preseason. He had to settle in a little bit, get his fitness. Julian, same thing. He was gone for a big chunk of preseason, so we needed him to settle in. I think his defending has been a lot better the last couple games. So I think, again, the group is settling in. I think the guys in front of them are helping to make things more predictable for the back line, and we're staying a little bit more connected. But having said that, I have to give them a lot of credit just for the way that they've protected the goal, and I think Bondi's been outstanding when he's needed to, in the opening stretch to help us in those moments where they do get opportunities. So that's how you get shutouts. Everybody has to contribute, and I think everybody did today. And again, we protected our goal in that period where I felt like we were under it just a little bit.
what do you think the biggest difference is for Julian this last couple of weeks?
I think it's just, we've really emphasized with him over the last 2 weeks just the defending side and not to be so aggressive to want to get out and attack and to be a little more patient on the defending side so that he's reading things a little bit clearer. Really emphasized his defending, and we haven't talked much with him over the last couple of weeks about how he can impact games on the attacking side. I think he already has a feel for that, and he loves to get out to attack, so we've really just emphasized with the coaching staff sitting down with him and just tightening up his defensive decisions. He has the aggression and he has the speed and all the things that he can use to his advantage from the defending perspective. It was just about cleaning up some of the decisions I thought that maybe he was making early on and settling in a little bit, not pressing too much. And I feel like he was much more patient and made correct decisions. When he does that, he has all the tools to be very successful. And he's been that, I thought, for the last game and a half. I thought he's been very, very good on the defensive side.
Thanks, Damien. We'll go to Nikki K next. Nikki, go ahead.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations on the win. You talked about Sam's performance and the relationships developing on this team. I just wanted to know what you saw in terms of his chemistry with Julian and Sebastian in what he performed today.
Yeah, again, I think relationships are a lot of different things. I think on the field, just their movement was more in sync with each other. So if one of them created space, the other was using the space. I think we saw from last week to this week his commitment to sprint and to run behind the back line and to threaten the depth has progressively gotten better with each game. And I just felt like the timing today and the work between the three of them was more in sync than it has been through the course of the first few games. I think the next part of the relationship is just them getting to understand where each of them wants the ball, how they want the ball, so that they can combine a little bit cleaner. I thought they had some moments where, again, they were able to play in tight spaces and play themselves out of it. That a week ago or 2 weeks ago, we wouldn't have gotten that. They would have been out of sync. I think they've gotten into a little bit more sync together in that way. So, again, it's still a work in progress, but we see the progress taking place in front of our eyes, and we're still not where we want to be ultimately. But I think those guys, as well as the rest of the group, are just getting a little bit more in sync with some of those different scenarios that present themselves. I thought he did a great job of coming inside and running outside and getting in behind, and that's one of the things we've been asking a little bit more out of some of these guys, and Sam put that in today. And Seba did it too. That's how he ended up with the run in behind the back line and the goal.
Thanks, Nikki. We'll go to Josh next. Josh,
Hey, Greg. I wanted to follow up on talking about Sebastian Lletget a little bit. He had looked like a pretty good first half, and obviously was pretty dangerous on the offensive side. What have you seen from him in the first 5 games? Obviously, he missed a couple games, but what have you seen from him that's really sort of adding to maybe the depth on offense?
Sorry, who was it?
Lletget.
Oh, Seba, yeah. Again, I think he wasn't with us for much of preseason because he was with the national team. Then he comes and he plays 1 game, and then he's out again, and then he's back in again. And so, again, I think it's just getting more clarity in terms of what we're trying to do as a group because he hasn't been in the group that much. And then it's establishing also just the relationships with the players around him. One of the things I think that we've been focusing on with him is just staying a little bit higher. There's times when we play in that shape where Javier ends up on an island and our midfield is too deep trying to get on the ball. And today they stayed a little bit higher, and as we saw, he ran off the shoulder of Javier, which is something we haven't seen the entire season. We get a chance off of it. And it's making sure that he and Jonah and Efra and those guys that are playing in those positions stay up higher on the field so that they can work with Javier and he doesn't end up alone. And that was the difference why we didn't need 2 forwards today where we did in the past is those guys stayed higher and we benefited from that. And Seba, that was a big reason why I thought Seba had a lot of success through the course of the game. And then he's progressively, getting used to the group again and match play, for example. So I thought he was excellent. I thought a lot of guys did a nice job today in what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Josh. We'll go to Gio Garcia next.
Hey, Greg.
Yep.
Just want to get your thoughts on Kevin Cabral. Obviously, he came in and obviously he scored a goal, which was called outside. But what were all the thoughts in the couple minutes that you got to play today?
Yeah, I was glad that we got him in a time we're up, where I think for a young man with a lot of talent, there's an emotion there. There's a lot of pressure for a young guy who coming in as a DP. So I think for him to be able to feel it today and just to get out there, I think still getting used to the group and getting his legs under him. He was off. Unfortunately, the visa process took so long. So the fitness he gained from the season, he loses a little bit of it coming in. So I think it's getting used to it and feeling the game out. Having said that, I think, again, you see a little bit of his timing on his runs to try to get in behind. He had some inside-out runs. He had some runs like Javier found him on the goal where he was a quarter of a body offside or something. So it's close. So, again, I think there's some good moments in there for him. I think he was breathing heavy a little bit through parts of it where he needs to get fit. And some of that, I think, is just the emotion of getting your first game in a new club like this. But I was happy with, again, his ability to help us in some of these moments to bring the game forward, to stretch the game out, to run in behind, and he'll keep progressing as we go. I didn't have any real expectation in the first game. The first game is always one of those where you're just trying to get your feet wet and figure out where you are in the moment. It feels like you're in a twilight zone a little bit. So I was just happy he was able to get out there and we won the game. And now he can start to relax and the first one's behind him and move forward.
How good did it feel to finally get a clean sheet?
Yeah, really good. That's, again, looking back at the club a bit for the last year and change, it's something that we've been working hard on and talking about, and for the guys and all the work that they've put into it to get it feels good. I think we've progressively gotten better in these games defensively, at least, again, protecting our goal. And now can we extend that a little bit higher up the field and recover balls a little bit higher? But I know for the work that the group has been putting in, it's nice to get that. And if we can get some consistent shutouts, I think we've got ways to score goals. We've seen that through these games. And so that's going to help us a lot once we can solidify that and be consistent on that end.
We'll do one final question. We'll go to Sophie Nicolau last. Sophie, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
Hi, Sophie.
Sometimes it's difficult to talk about yourself, but it is clear there is a culture and new DNA evolving at LA Galaxy that is it evokes a five-star MLS team. Ordinarily, games like this in the past, maybe in the last 18 months, the team would have conceded goals, maybe lost the game. I don't know if you feel it, but LA Galaxy fans, we talk to them on social media, we see them coming in and out of the stadium. There is a vibe, there is an excitement about this squad, and you are clearly making a massive difference. Can you just talk us through that a little bit? Because as well as the players are doing, what you're bringing to the table in such a short space of time is so evident and smacks a little bit of the old LA Galaxy culture that everyone is known to come and love.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, I think in terms of the culture and what we're trying to do is connect everything that's happening here so that we're efficient and we do things well, bring respect to everything that we're trying to do. And we believe that, between the club and the staff and the fans and the front office staff, that we are one big family that has each other to support each other to go try to win games. And treating everybody with respect and trying to listen and talk and let people have opinions and communicate and all those kinds of things so they feel heard. To me, that's how you get people to buy in those days and those moments where you have to grind. That's where they put in the extra because they appreciate what you've brought to them and what the environment you've created for them. And that's when guys feel like they can be successful. And I think that's just, it's kind of resonating and emanating through the team, and people probably feel that on the outside because a lot of the things that everybody is talking about from the inside, it's consistent and it's going from inside out. And now, our fans are for sure, you can feel them in the stands behind us and you can feel the excitement building. Results obviously help that, but I think a lot of our wins early on have really been built on the back of some of the culture and just some of that hard work that the guys have been committed to. I think bringing clarity to the team in terms of what each guy's role is and how they can help this team be successful helps them to also be successful, and they appreciate that as well. So, look, these are just, they're early stages, they're building blocks. We've got to keep adding to it. But I think, for me, that's when I arrived at the Galaxy in 1996 and we were starting it. That's what the club was started on. It was an incredible group of guys that Coach Lothar Ausiander put together, good human beings who all worked hard for each other. And I feel like it was the foundation of what was being built with the LA Galaxy. And at that time, it was in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and we felt our fans every single time, And so that's what I believe that this is about. Obviously, there's the big club mentality and that the Galaxy really puts out. But I think it starts with those of us on the inside and our fans feeling like we're all in this together and being able to support each other and push through it. And so I don't know. It's just at this point, it's just kind of doing what we do and trying to bring people on board and trying to get results each week. Because as you get results, it just adds to the momentum of what you're trying to do from that side of things.
Hey, Sebastian, congratulations on the win and great goal. On the whole, the offense seemed more connected, a little bit more dangerous today. What's attributing to that out there on the field? I know it's a matter of relationships developing, but in terms of making runs and staying higher, what's the attack doing?
Yeah, no, I think it's exactly what what you just said. It's just having that connection, and it's all about rhythm, and it's games. It's still fairly early. We have a new guy, Kevin. Sam is still figuring his place, in the team, and and Chicha's doing his thing, and I'm coming in. Obviously, I missed 2 games, and it's just getting integrated back in the squad. So it's just finding that rhythm in between us all. But I definitely felt it today. I thought everybody from top to bottom was really well. Our lines were connected a bit more, and just overall organized. And and my biggest take is the clean sheet. You know what I mean? I think it's been a while since our fans have seen that. So a great defensive effort.
And one more for me here. When you guys seemed a little bit stagnant in the second half, Coach comes in with 5 on the back line. What did that do to kind of settle the waters out there and help kind of maybe relieve some of the pressure that you guys might have been feeling?
Yeah, I think just before I came off, we were feeling definitely a lot of pressure. I was playing up there with Chicha, and I think him seeing how the game was going, and he's a thinker, and he pays close attention to detail, and that's what makes him a great coach, is that he can see those things and adjust, and I think it made all the difference.
Thanks, Nicky. We'll go next to Andy Dioso with Yahoo. Andy, go ahead.
Hey, Seb, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
So we talked about obviously preseason and coming in, into the season, and during the first few games about the culture change that Vanney is instilling basically in the group. For you, that's been around and dealt with the hardships.
Yeah.
Is it a bit of a surprise that you guys have started this way? I know obviously it's just the first month of the season, but it just seems that it hit the ground running so quickly and it's showing promising signs. Is it kind of surprising to you that it's turned around that fast?
I think when you start, you get a new management, you see all the ideas that they come in with, and I think it changed the energy around here, and you hope for a great start, and I think we all felt like, wow, this could be a special year. Like we don't want to jinx it in any sort of way, but I think we all felt the shift. And so I wouldn't say I'm surprised, because I know we have quality players. I know I trust our staff and the club. And like you said, I've experienced some tough times in this club, from good times and bad times, and this is definitely the best I've felt as far as the culture. So it's definitely a breath of fresh air, and I'm just gonna keep enjoying it.
Thanks, Andy. We'll go next to Katia Castorena with ESPN.
Thanks. Chris, hola Sebas, gusto
Hola.
saludarte.
Hola,
Quería
gracias.
preguntarte lo que significó para ti el gol. También sé que fue un inicio de temporada complicado para ti, entonces lo que sentiste y todas esas emociones que viviste en este partido.
Sí, no, era muy lindo meter mi primer gol del año. Sí, en una noche así también. Era un muy buen momento. Muy buena energía en el estadio y hacerlo con con fans en los asientos lo hace mejor, ¿no? Entonces, no, realmente estoy muy emocionado y bueno, seguimos adelante y ahora estamos agarrando un poco más de ritmo en equipo y se siente bien.
Thanks, Katia. We'll go to Salvador Perez next. Salvador, go ahead.
Thank you, Chris. Hola, Sebas.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
Qué gusto saludarte. Espero estés bien. Oye, Sebas, ya te lo preguntaba un poco, Katia, todo lo que ha sido, todo lo que has vivido, pero yo quisiera preguntarte, hoy LA Galaxy prácticamente domina en esa segunda mitad.
Sí.
Parece que es mayor el dominio, pero hoy cómo te sentiste tú en la cancha, hoy cómo te sentiste tú frente a Austin con esta situación redonda y sobre todo hoy cómo ves a Javier en ese sentido. Hoy ya son 7 goles de Javier,
Sí.
una asistencia, participación en 8 a los 10 goles del Galaxy, pero hoy cómo están, Seba. Gracias.
No, bien, no, realmente muy bien. Bueno, jugué prácticamente cambiamos un poco la formación hoy. En contra del AFC lo hicimos un poco diferente, jugué más abierto y hoy jugué más en mi posición y bueno, me siento muy cómodo ahí. Yo creo que se vio un poco diferente en ese sentido, pero cambiando a Chicha está jugando muy bien, espectacular y no, realmente estoy muy feliz por él. Él ha trabajado muy duro y se ve, y realmente se ve fuerte, se ve rápido, se ve muy atento en la área. Entonces estoy muy feliz por él. ¿No? Y bueno, tenemos muchas opciones atacando y bueno, y como dije antes, con más partidos, más todavía lo vas a ver.
Thanks. We'll go next to Gio Garcia. Gio, go ahead.
Hey, Sebastian, congrats on the goal. Can you just walk us through the goal? What was going through your mind when you saw the defender just fall and it was just you one-on-one?
Yeah, I mean, I think in those moments, I mean, it's definitely like a run I think I've incorporated into my game, in these last 2 years, just getting in the box and just being that extra threat, not only the number 9 being that threat and just, but yeah, when the moment came, you just got to be calm, you can't freak out, you just got to, I mean, and I think I've learned a lot like the last 2 years about just scoring goals and being in dangerous areas. So I think it's just something I've worked on. You know what I mean? And I know the defender Hector. I believe it was. I know he got injured, so I hope he's okay. And I wish him the best. It sucks when you see that. So, but yeah, I mean, I definitely had to do my job and finish it. But yeah, bless him.
We'll do one last one. We'll go to Chris Maldonado. Chris, go ahead.
Hola Sebastián, ¿cómo
Hola.
estás? Muy buen partido, ¿eh?
Gracias.
En este momento, en esta temporada, Greg Vanney te ha utilizado en el wing y te ha ocupado en el midfield.
Sí.
¿Dónde te sientes tú más confiado jugar? ¿En el wing o en el midfield? ¿Qué prefieres?
No, bueno, yo siempre soy un jugador que yo sé que puedo hacer los dos, pero yo siempre soy más cómodo en el medio. Es algo que me viene más natural y y me siento más libre. Y yo he entrenado y he estudiado esa posición, entonces es mi posición y con la selección juego en esa posición, entonces estoy más acostumbrado ahí, pero es que falta, como el partido anterior, faltaba Kevin, que vino, Sam, lo usamos un poco diferente, entonces hay jugadores que están viniendo en el equipo que necesitan ritmo, entonces no van a empezar, entonces me van a poner a mí en esa posición, pero yo siempre lo voy a hacer para el equipo, pero sí, yo me siento más cómodo en el medio.
Was it for the group to follow up last week against LAFC with a performance like today?
Yeah, it was very important to step up because sometimes these games are like a tricky one, not regardless of the teams, because like I always said it, every single team in the MLS is tough and it's very important, regardless of they're champions or they didn't qualify. That's one of the great thing of this league, that you're never gonna have like an easy game. So after the Tráfico one, and it was a game, like with a lot of emotions at our home. all the energy we spend over there and the fitness that we show over there too, the way that we defend, the way that we won the game. Of course, this game is a tricky one if you don't step up, and I think that was very important, and Greg and all his coaching staff identified that as his day one. He told us in the way that we train, in the way that we prepare this game, to don't relax, and to don't just like stop doing what we want to show, that it's like we're gonna run, we're gonna give our best, we have our style as well, our mentality, but the attitude needs to be like 110% every single game, right? So I think we did it. We managed pretty well the game, even though of course they were a very team, they like to play with the ball, they have good players, but we keep the clean sheet, that it was very important, and then of course we scored 2 goals that give us the 3 points.
And real quickly, after you missed the PK, how much does that weigh on you for the rest of the game? And can you sort of erase that once you score your goal in the 70th minute, or what?
I mean, it will be. Of course, I'm not gonna lie. If I score that penalty, the confidence probably can lift up. But that's the great thing, that if you miss, the most important one is the next one. So mentally, you need to be present. You need to be present. You cannot do nothing. You cannot go back to the penalty and try to shoot it again. So if it's goal or not, that's something that I learned since I was a kid. In every match, and in every play. Not only like a opportunity to score a goal. If you miss a pass, the next one is the most important. If you have a bad touch, the next one is the most important. So that was it. And then fortunately, it wasn't like that long after I missed the penalty that we scored the goal. Sebas very, very good goal with a great assist from Daniel. So that's the only thing that was in my mind. Sorry, like keep going, because the important thing here is to win. It doesn't matter if I score or I don't score goals. It's like I just want my team to win, and if I can help my team with goals, that's amazing. But if not, like the other game, I give an assist. Today I give a very good assist that unfortunately was offside. But I mean, I'm just trying to do my best, play in the way that Greg want me to play, and then try to help my teammates to be very, very players, to try to put them in better positions, to create spaces, to play soccer, not only score goals. So that was only in my mind, that I want to just keep focused, keep present, like don't make that play to show that I can go down, in a way. So I just try to be very resilient.
Sammy, we'll go next to Nikki K with Spectrum. Nikki, go ahead.
Hi, Javier.
Hi, thank you.
Congrats on the goal. Now, on the whole, the offense, the attack seems more connected and able to apply more pressure consistently. And Coach talked about how guys were staying higher around you and making runs around you that they hadn't been in previous games. I want to know what felt different for you out there on the field today. What were guys doing that enabled that connectivity for you?
I mean, the desire to attack, I think, and it's not something that we didn't do. No, we did it so good. For example, last game too, in a way that even Jonathan scored a goal. Our center midfielder. So I mean, and now Sebas scored a great goal. I always said it, like it doesn't need to be only the responsibility of one guy. To score goals or to defend, for example, the goalkeepers or the defenders. I mean, the strikers are the first defenders, and the goalkeeper is our first like offensive player. So I mean, that's something that Greg is working pretty well, and his coaching staff. Of course, there's gonna be games in which ones we need to be probably more defensive, more compact. Probably we're not gonna have a lot of possession, but regardless of that, we need to be compact. We need to be brave enough to defend, but as well brave enough to attack, to get positions where we can make the other team very uncomfortable and make doubts, and then we can create space, we can create one-on-ones, we can get more players inside the box, we can create more opportunities in a more successful way, in a way that, like, probably we cannot score all the opportunities, right? But at least we're gonna have opportunities. Like in this game, we have so much more opportunities comparing the other games that I think, regardless that we didn't score all of them or most of them, we weren't ruthless in that way, starting from me and the PK and stuff like that. I think we as a team, if we create so many opportunities, and as well we don't give so many opportunities to the opposition, I think it's a way of proving ourselves that we are in a good path and we're improving so much as a team.
So we'll switch over to Spanish. We'll go first to Katia Castrena with ESPN. Katia, go ahead.
Thanks, Chris.
Hola, Katia.
Preguntas respecto al esfuerzo defensivo, que sé que es algo que han venido trabajando y lo importante que era mantener esa sincera y llevarse la victoria. Y la segunda, quería preguntarte, sé que el 2020, entendiendo que no fue un buen año, pero ahora por la manera que has arrancado el torneo este 2021 con el Galaxy, ¿te sorprende aún que no estén volteando a ver el tema selección, lo que vienes haciendo, el acercamiento por ahí?
Primero lo del tema defensivo, a ver, siempre lo he dicho y creo que con todos los entrenadores con lo que he estado desde que he debutado, por la manera en el que el fútbol ha evolucionado muchísimo. Obviamente a los atacantes se nos pide defender más que en otros tiempos y también a los defensores se les pide crear más y también a los porteros crear más que en tiempos anteriores. Entonces creo que no es nada nuevo. Obviamente cuando los resultados son muy positivos todo parece que es excelente, y cuando a veces los resultados no son tan buenos parece que las cosas están como muy preocupantes, ¿no? Debido a que hay momentos en los cuales seguimos trabajando muy bien. Por ejemplo, en el partido después de Seattle, que fue un partido donde obviamente ellos fueron muy superiores, pero que al igual nosotros tuvimos el carácter para poder sobreponernos a eso. Y lo de la selección siempre lo he mencionado. Voy a estar siempre muy feliz, va a ser un honor y un placer vestir la camiseta verde, pero también cuando no se me tome en cuenta es algo que, a ver, yo voy a hacerlo, voy a seguir haciendo lo que hago, estoy feliz aquí, viviendo mi momento, disfrutando todo este crecimiento en esta liga, quiero ser campeón, quiero llegar hasta lo más alto en lo individual y también en lo grupal, que es lo más importante. Entonces para mí lo único que está en la cabeza es el LA Galaxy, como lo puedes ver acá atrás, y es lo que voy a dar la vida. Y ya, si las convocatorias llegan, voy a ser también muy orgulloso, me voy a sentir con muchísimo honor de vestir siempre esa camiseta, pero si no llegan, la verdad es que también estoy disfrutando muchísimo este momento.
One more question with Andy Diosa de Yahoo. Andy, go ahead.
Hola, Javier, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿tú?
Muy bien, gracias. Dos preguntas rápidas. La primera, ¿no tuviste este partido ninguna predicciones que se hicieron realidad, sabes? Como el último partido.
¿Qué? De lo de Jonah, ¿me dices?
Sí.
Pues sí, me estaba imaginando hacer un gol y pues hice un gol. Bueno, no uno, pues estaba imaginándome poner hacer gol. No, a ver, es algo que obviamente lo voy a traer y puede ser muy cliché, pero sí, de verdad que es una manera en la que me gusta utilizar mi cerebro, ¿no? La verdad es que sí, como puedo imaginarme y mis miedos pueden ganarme y puedo imaginarme escenarios muy negativos, pues también me puedo imaginar escenarios positivos, porque pues obviamente está en uno, ¿no? Está en uno controlar sus pensamientos, uno controlar todo eso. Entonces pues sí me sigo imaginando cosas chingonas. Entonces no es que todos los partidos que salgan bien, es que obviamente voy a hacer como Nostradamus y todo salió, pero la realidad es que siempre en mi cabeza estoy visualizándome una mejor versión de mí en lo futbolístico, en lo mental, en lo personal, en lo emocional, en todos los aspectos. Y también me visualizo a mis compañeros creciendo, llegando a lugares donde tienen una oportunidad grandísima para ellos. Tú no sabes, contratos, selecciones, oportunidades en Europa, campeonatos, todo eso, ¿no? Toda esta organización. Entonces, pues sí, no, pues digo sí, no, pues obviamente sí me imaginaba un partido redondo, un arco en cero, una clean sheet, como se dice en inglés, un partido donde podíamos controlar más. Obviamente me hubiera imaginado, pues imagínate haber hecho el penal y a lo mejor las otras dos oportunidades que tuve que no meter, pues bueno, uno nunca sabe, no hacer un póker, un hat-trick o todo eso, pero lo que siempre está en mi cabeza, lo que siempre me imagino es que el equipo salga con los 3 puntos, ¿no? En todos los partidos. Entonces, pues afortunadamente se dio.
En ese mismo sentido, usted como líder, ¿cómo se siente hablando con los jóvenes, con los 2 jugadores en particular, con Efra y Julián, que tuvieron buenos partidos, y usted cómo los ayuda, cómo dice usted, tratar de exigirles para mejorar cada día, cada partido?
No, ellos, Adam, Carlos, también Sam, más allá de que viene con Europa y que también por la edad a lo mejor no se le considera, pero a ver, tenemos una mezcla de juventud y también algunos de nosotros en el cual llevamos un poco más años. Yo creo que los, más que hablar con ellos o no, yo creo que lo primordial es que yo me tengo que romper la madre, yo tengo que ser el primero en trabajar, en darlo todo para así poder ayudar de la mejor manera. Ya después palabras más, palabras menos, podré estar equivocado en cosas como veo el fútbol o no, o en movimientos o todo eso. Yo creo que aquí lo que queremos crear es una sinergia en el cual da igual si es Chicharito, da igual si es Efraín, da igual si es Julián, Jonathan Dos Santos, Kevin, el que sea, ¿no? Bond, el que sea, todos aquí venimos a partirnos la madre, como decimos en México, a darlo todo, porque es lo que está en nuestras manos. Y ya después yo creo que si todos estamos, o la mayoría de nosotros estamos en esa sintonía, yo creo que todo va a conspirar muchísimo más a favor que en contra.